After Avengers Endgame closed the chapter on Phase 3, Phase 4 has started off with a barrage of TV shows in collaboration with Disney+. Getting off the mark with WandaVision, Marvel followed up with a bit of a letdown, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and much improved Loki and Hawkeye. The latest addition to this list is the newcomer, Moon Knight. In today's video, we'll be discussing the upcoming Marvel-Disney+ TV collaboration, Moon Knight, and what we know about it so far. Stay tuned. So when will the Moon Knight be released? According to the details made public by Marvel and Disney+, the show is expected to be released on March 30th, 2022, and for the next 6 weeks, Marvel fans will be treated to a new episode weekly, which has been the way Disney+ has managed all other Marvel shows. Who is the Moon Knight? In the age of Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers, Marvel and the Avengers might have become a household name, but until and unless you are a total geek for Marvel Comics, Moon Knight will be a character that is unknown to you. The short version of the introduction and origin of Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector, is that he is unlike your typical Marvel heroes, and is in fact a complex vigilante who is morally ambiguous, created by the duo of Don Perlin and Doug Moench. Moon Knight was first introduced in the comic Werewolf by Night 32, in which he was shown as a mercenary who was hired by the not-so-good Commission to bring Werewolf to them. Despite the character's own stated dislike of the white costume that he was given by the Commission itself, he became something of a popular character amongst Marvel's creative team, and this resulted in the 1980s comic Moon Knight #1. The comic tracing his origin story showed his character growing up in Chicago, going on to become a boxer, joining the U.S. Marines, and then finally into the ranks of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. He was also established as a mercenary, who was apparently left for dead in the Egyptian desert after a job against the warlord Bushman went sideways. Fortunately for him, an Egyptian god called Khonshu saves him, makes him his emissary, and leads him on a path that sees him becoming a wealthy vigilante with superpowers, who fights crime wearing an iconic white and silver costume. If we look at the comics, Spector's dissociative identity disorder leads him to adopting multiple personas that include Jake Lockley, who is a cab driver, and Stephen Grant, who is a millionaire playboy. As if his mental problems weren't enough, Khonshu is also shown communicating with him through a psychic link, and making him do things that the Marvel hero is clearly not comfortable with, hence the moral ambiguity. How is the show setting up the story from the comics? Stephen is described as any other even-tempered employee at the gift shop in the British Museum, who becomes perpetually plagued with memories of some other life and periods of no memory at all. Stephen soon finds out that he is actually sharing the same body with Mark. The show deals with how the two major personas must learn to trust each other and somehow effectively use their two forms concurrently when they find themselves in the middle of a mystery revolving around old and powerful gods of Egypt. In the latest trailer, Stephen can be heard saying to himself that he cannot separate moments from his daily life, those which he sees in his dreams, which raises the possibility that one of the two is not actually happening. Yet on the other hand is the equally possible explanation that those are all real events, and the divide into Stephen and Mark's persona is how he and his mind are trying to cope with being Khonshu's emissary on Earth. There's a lot of information going around about the whole show, which has to deal with a number of identities that are competing with one another and clearly at odds, so the show will obviously have to touch upon psychological challenges. Dissociative identity disorder's depiction in the media is a bit of a risky move that has seen previous projects aimed at the same being criticized. But fortunately, till now, Marvel has proven handy at dealing sensitively with tough topics that can bring backlash. The only thing that remains to be seen is how the studio will manage to juggle depicting a very real and serious mental health condition along with the expected fighting and combat spectacle. Another character that might very well be seen in the show is that of Werewolf by Night, who does in fact feature in the trailer, in a shot that shows him being beaten up in a bathroom by the Moon Knight. Now, let's dive into the expected cast and their roles for Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac. The title role of Moon Knight will be played by Oscar Isaac. The actor will be portraying the mercenary's several personalities simultaneously and having to effectively communicate, bring out the near constant state of frenzy brought on by his internal conflicts. The trailer has given us the idea that viewers will be watching Steve, the billionaire persona, more than Mark, and this is in line with the series synopsis that Disney has released to go along with the trailer. Stephen, more so than Mark or Jake, is the primary persona that the viewers will be treated to throughout the show. Should we choose to ignore the existence of the awful X-Men apocalypse, Moon Knight is Oscar Isaac's first superhero role, though it is worth mentioning that Isaac has previously played the mutant god En-Saba-Nur, one of the supervillains in that movie. Ethan Hawke. The other key cast member that is known to us is that of Ethan Hawke, playing the character of Arthur Harrow, who appears to be some sort of a cult leader serenading as a self-help guru. If we look back into the comics, Hawke's character, Harrow, was actually a deformed scientist who was trying to discover a way to keep all the pain receptors of the human body from working. Unfortunately for him, because he was using archaic Nazi research to carry out his objectives, the results of his experimentation were an army of soldiers that resembled zombies, and that the Moon Knight had to fight. Harrow was only seen in one issue of the Moon Knight comics, so it might be possible that the use of his name here is some sort of a misleading tactic by Marvel. Ever since Hawke has been first linked to a role in the show, some reports have also linked him to be playing a character based somewhat around the Bushmen. Other reports have also suggested that he might be playing the role of Mark's brother, Randall Spector, who himself becomes a mercenary and takes on two other identities, namely Hatchet Man and Shadow Knight. If it is indeed Randall that Hawke is playing, then it could set up the classic villain who is the hero's mirror image, Gaspard Ulliel. The late Ulliel will be playing the role of Anton Mogart, who is a master art and jewelry thief who goes by the alter ego Midnight Man. Lucy Thackeray. Thackeray will be portraying Donna, co-worker of Mark at the gift shop. May Calamaway is also expected to make an appearance in the show, in a yet unnamed role, but there are rumors abound that she will be playing Layla DeCrisio, who is also the voice on the phone with Mark in the trailer. Loic Mabanza. There are speculations that Mabanza will be playing Raoul Bushman, who is actually Spector's colleague turned enemy. The speculation started off after he was seen in Budapest during the show's filming, but as of now, nothing official has yet to be announced. Who else is involved in the entire project is being handled by showrunner Jeremy Slater, who was also the showrunner for the 2015 disastrous Fantastic Four film, but the first script he wrote for the movie was impressive enough to catch Marvel's eye. Ever since that disastrous project, he has been developing the Umbrella Academy for Netflix. Marvel has this time around gathered a rather intriguing lineup of directors for their 6 episodes, which includes Egyptian writer and director Mohamed Diab, who will be directing 4 episodes out of the 6. Diab is actually a wonderful and historic hire, as he becomes the first filmmaker from the Middle East to work on a major Marvel project. To give us an idea of what to expect, he said just like his movies, they are quite heavy and serious, revolving around serious topics. He very well expects this project might be in the same vein, as it will combine entertainment with a heavier form of storytelling. For the other 2 episodes, Marvel has hired the immensely talented pair of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. The MCU has done a commendable effort recruiting a lot of up-and-coming filmmakers who have been seen working on projects that don't have a lot of budget, which include Kate Shortland, Chloe Zhao, Anna Boden, Ryan Fleck. That's a wrap for this video. Will we see Moon Knight get the same love as the Avengers, or will it be an undersell to the audience? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.